We don't have a new intro song. What's up, guys? We're live. UFC Perth, Reyes versus Ulberg. I'm your host, Picks by Pegasus. We're here with Dre V, Key 3 Picks. Yeah, there's no intro for the live shows. I don't know if there's a way to do that or if it's possible, but someone leave me a comment, let me know. But what's happening, Daz? Thanks for joining us. Olajuwon, thank you. Tristan, let's go. What's happening, man? Champ, thanks for always being here, bro. Dixon Cider. I don't know. Let me know if there's a way to put intro music onto a live show and we'll get it going. All right. 2 weeks off. Dana White Contender Series. I mean, I'm getting fucking cooked. There's no other way to put it. I don't think I want to bet this season. So I'm done with that shit.
What about Chavez, bro?
Chavez? Were you on Chavez?
No, I didn't have any bets on Dana White Contender Series, but I did say
fuck
that Chavez and
I got
Montague would be a banger.
I got robbed.
Yeah,
I don't think that was a robbery.
Dude, people
got robbed because of the ref.
I see people saying Chavez won 1 and 3. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. I was watching the movie Us. I'm not sure if you guys have watched Us before, but that's what I was watching.
So Peg, let me tell you what happened. The first round is really close, but I think Montenegro won. But it's a close round. Round 2, she clearly won. She almost knocked her out. She knocked her down. And then she punched.
Wait, keep in mind, round 2 could have been like she was potentially moving to 10-8 territory, but Montenegro got hurt at the very end of the round.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying, the ref is like she's punching her. After that, she's punching her in the side of the head, and the ref is like, watch the back of the head when she's trying to finish her, and she just stopped punching, and then they clinch for a minute. The finish was right there, and then Peg. The worst part is. Round 3, there's 2 minutes left. She's on top in like half guard. The other girl can get back up, right? She's stuck on bottom. The ref is saying work, and then after that, the ref go like that. So Montenegro think that she needs to get back up, so she let her back up, and then she get pieced up the last minute, and she lose the round. Bro, it was disgusting. And I bet her at minus 150. She closed minus 220, and I lose that shit. That was so annoying.
Women, man, it's a crazy thing. Sophia stayed on top in round 3.
Exactly.
I had Sophia ITD. Anyone know if the rumor about Zercher was a steroid a few years ago? Sure, it looked like it.
I mean, again, another bullshit. I've watched like 8 fights of that guy. He's never been dropped. He's never been dropped ever, right? He has a very, very good chin, and he gets fucking dropped with a jab and knocked out. I'm like, what am I watching? It was.
I think it's because I bet on him. That's why.
I mean, it must be something like that. Or he was hurt or something going in. That was some crazy shit. Anyway, fuck Dana White Contender Series.
All right, so we're getting back into it. We're in Perth, right? Perth is in Australia. I think it's Western Australia, I believe, is what they talk about. Like it's different from Eastern Australia. It's supposed to be some like big significant difference, like being from West Sydney or something. Who the fuck knows? First fight of the night we have here is going to be Loma Lukbume versus Alexia Thainara. Loma Lukbume is what the fuck are the odds on this? She's plus 200. Alexia Thainara is minus 230. Low level girls fight. Key, welcome back. Take it away.
Yeah, I think here Thainara should get it done. I'm not excited to pay minus 230 because yes, I do think that Thainara is good. I backed her on Dana White Contender Series, I believe at plus odds. And I do think that she's solid, but one, the Rebus fight team in general just seems like a lot of head cases and a lot of ADHD going on. And I also think that Thainara, I want to see more of her against real competition. On regionals, she wasn't really facing, really tough comp. And she has a couple notable wins, but it wasn't like she was just going through the ringer in LFA or anything. And then Rose Conceição, I thought that, like I said, I backed her there. I thought that was a good look. And the Molly can't grapple to save her fucking life, and now it's a pro boxer. So, so what, you subbed Molly McCann. But I do think this girl is physical. I think that she's a dog. I think that she's aggressive. I think that her grappling is very solid. And I think that Loma's just outmatched here physically. Loma probably could fight atomweight if she wanted to. And naturally, she's just somebody that has a hard time separating if there's not like a distinct skill disadvantage on the other side. So I think that Loma here maybe has the hope that Thainara has some bad cardio or something, or sick on fight week or some shit like that. Because otherwise, I just see Thainara kind of grinding her out. I could see sub, and I'm not sure what sub prices are right now.
Plus 350, and then I think Bet Rivers gave out plus 400 for Thainara by sub. So that was gonna be my
that's not too bad. Like honestly, that's the way that she justifies this type of price tag, minus 200 and up. She justifies this price tag through sub. So I think that that's not a bad price here. Loma has made strides in the right direction in terms of her grappling in recent years, but I still think that she's just, like I said, outmatched physically by a very, very large gap.
At the end of the day, he leans so far into her Muay Thai which I appreciate. I like that, but
it's cool, but it just doesn't translate well.
It does in striking in general outside of a Muay Thai ring. It doesn't translate, and pretty much anywhere unless you're Carlos Prates. But even then, that's just a different level because he's got power. But yeah, I don't know. I was leaning Thainara by sub. I think the size difference is going to be huge. Obviously, like you said, one could be an atomweight, the other one is huge, or atomweight. Sorry, but yeah, I don't know. I think Thainara by sub seems fair. Job, you got anything different?
Yeah, I mean, me and Key thought that girl was kind of cool before the Night Contender Series, right? With dance and everything she was doing. I remember, those clips that I sent in the group chat. I mean, she's cool, let's be honest. And I think her grappling is honestly very good. And she's strong. And there's going to be, she's going to be way stronger and bigger than Loma here. And Loma, the thing is, she's a good striker, but she never really separates. That's kind of the problem. Even in her last fight against, what's her name? The other girl that she just beat, but it was super close. Oh, it's still Nunes, right? So that fight, I'm not even sure she won. You guys scored it for Loma?
No, I had an Estella ticket for half a unit at plus fucking 700, and she got robbed. I remember
it was very close, but I kind of thought
it was close. But I mean, I had, like I said, plus 700, so I don't get how. I don't know.
Key, what you were about to say?
No, I think that was a toss-up fight, and I mean, in hindsight, obviously should have been lined much closer. But Nunes, for what it's worth, is she's a good striker.
Yeah, she's a good striker, but it was still not a good look. And yeah, the thing with Loma is normally she's fighting against striker that sometimes she can get her own takedowns. And here I just think that she's gonna need to outstrike Thainara and defend most of the takedowns to win, which is possible. She's obviously been there, done that in the UFC for a long time, but I just think Thainara, when she's gonna grab her and get her down, she could submit her. Honestly, I do think so. I want to do more tapes on this one, but I think Thainara, if she get on top, she's pretty slick with those submissions. And Loma, I don't think she's really good on bottom. And again, she's not
400 also, Jav.
Yeah, I mean that's a decent price. I'm gonna look more into it. And yeah, Thainara, for what it's worth, I think she did a good portion of her camp at Bangtai Muay Thai. Working on her striking, because her striking is not the best. But
that's interesting because isn't Loma there?
She was there before, but I don't think she's there now. She has her camp outside too, and she did some training at Bangtai before she did not this camp, but prior camp she was there for sure. So yeah, I mean, Thainara, again, like he said, the Rebas team, some ADHD shit. I think she has some as well. But yeah, her striking is not really good, but she's going to throw a lot of volume and it's probably going to make it competitive. So yeah, I think she's the side, but I don't know about the money line though. Do you guys think the money line is wide? If she doesn't submit her, the fight's probably going to be close. She's not going to win 30-27, I don't think.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm not excited to jump at minus 230. Because I do think that if this does end up being 15 minutes, I do think that Loma ends up making this somewhat close because she is a solid fighter.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't know. I think the way to play it's by sub or the under. Under is plus 210 for 2.5.
What finishing upside do you give Loma?
I don't know. Fluke knockout. Something crazy. cover the fluke knockout, and then Thainara by sub or TKO or ground and pound, like whatever it is. So I don't know, different ways to look at it. Stella not a bad fighter. Yeah, rest in peace, Stella. What's happening, Kyle? Thanks for joining us. Dads, let's go. Champ says tough fight for me passing. Thainara has bad fight IQ. So that comes with being that's from the Hebus camp. Like
it's the ADHD, bro.
Yeah, they need Adderall. Get the girls Adderall. All right. I should have done the foot thing for this. See this? We took a few weeks off, and all of a sudden I'm off my game. All right. Brando Pericic versus Alicia Ellison. Odds on let's see. Odds on the two big boys. We got Pericic minus 225. Alicia Ellison plus 190.
Let Daddy talk about this first. You took
first?
my scraps here. You took my scraps. So let Daddy talk first.
Well, go ahead. Give it out.
I think that Brando here is the obvious side. I take this early. It was on Bookmaker, Bet Online, Bet365, a bunch of other places at the time, so it wasn't an opener. But I got Brando plus 145. I tracked plus 140 because there was plus 138 at Bookmaker and some other places. Honestly, if I had like way more outs, that's a 10-unit bet. I'm not gonna lie. I think that here he's good till minus 175 or so. There's a clear physicality difference here. Alicia looks like he's a former cop and is late into mixed martial arts and has been working with Chase Hoover and seems to be decent on the mat. But one, the guy looks like he could make light heavyweight if he actually put his mind to it. And two, I mean, he's coming in here at about 5'11", I believe, against a guy in Brando who's 6'5", out of CKB, City Kickboxing. And it's important to note here that this fight was originally booked on Dana White Contender Series. Then, for no reason at all, this gets moved to UFC Perth, where Brando gets to be with the rest of his CKB teammates and gets a tee-up spot, essentially. So, if anything, I mean, it's pretty obvious who the A side is here. It's pretty obvious who they want to win. Brando has big power. The one fight they did lose, that guy is a real legitimate guy on the Aussie regional scene, Randall Raymond. Good grappler, very well trained. He's won fights in Hex. I mean, he's a solid guy. He's not great or anything, but that's not the ugliest loss to have on your record against a guy that just simply had more experience than him. And the pace that Brando fought at for those first 6 minutes was just insane. I mean, there's barely any heavyweight on earth that's going to be able to keep up with that pace. And I think he just wasn't able to get the guy out of there. And it wasn't like he just flat out quit on himself. The guy was it was a vet lesson. That's the best way to put it. It was a vet lesson. And everybody else, Brando's just sparking. He has real power. He's feigning. He has a kickboxing background, not only from training with the CKB boys, but I believe an 18-2 record in the kickboxing world. So he's an intelligent striker, educated, hits like a truck. And in terms of the grappling, he's shown to be able to have some solid scrambling, some decent IQ on the mat, and is able to hold his own and even got some takedowns himself. So I think that the guy is actually really solid. I know he's friends with our boy Lucrative, James. And so all of us are on him and we'll be rooting for him. But I think the Alicia here is outside of him getting this to the mat and instantly getting the back or instantly getting into mount through some bullshit scramble. I don't really see a path for him. He's not that great of an athlete, in my opinion. He throws 1 or 2 shots at a time. You can tell he doesn't exactly know what he's doing on the feet. He's been hurt before by bums and got choked out by somebody who I don't rate at all. So I think that here he's just simply outmatched. He's traveling across the world to Australia now. That travel is hell for any American going across the pond. So I think that Brando here, this is an obvious spot. I think it's around 1 KO. Brando, I think plus 140 was a crazy line. And I'm glad that the guys were able to get some numbers too.
Yeah, so I got minus 120 indirectly from knowing he was on it. Champions, find good bets. Punches and bunches, high volume for a heavyweight. Pretty big dude. throws decent leg kicks, has good power, has grappling, kind of well put together. City kickboxing guy. He's actually the watch a documentary on him. He's actually the first. Yeah, watch the docu on a slob heavyweight on his first UFC debut. He's the first West Australian UFC fighter or something like that. Whatever the fuck.
That's not even true.
That's what he said in this fucking interview. What do you want me to tell you? Well,
I'm kidding.
Yeah, he's like some Croatian. He's like Croatian. He moved to West Australia with his family. He's the first West Australian UFC fighter. What does it mean to be from West Australia? Either way, I ain't betting on a black guy named Alicia. So there's that. Not gonna happen. Brando probably wins by knockout in the first round. He's a pretty good fighter. He's got decent process. Both these guys are relatively green. But one guy was flown across the world to fight a guy from City Kickboxing. Heavyweight needs some new faces, and this could be a guy who's there. Maybe it was, but either way, purchase minus 120 for me. Minus 225 is way too wide now. Maybe do a KO bet, but I mean that's minus 175. So I
think round 1 KO is the way to play.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's I was thinking something similar. What are you thinking, Droff? What do you got?
What about round 1 submission?
I mean, what do you think? He's going to heel hook him? I saw him go for those heel hooks. The only thing is Ellison trains with Chase Hooper, so they're doing some sort of wrestling and grappling in that camp. They got to be, right?
Yeah, but it's 30-1, sub 1. I've seen this guy go on top and take the neck. I would play round 1 instead of KO1, honestly, just because he's much, much, much bigger. You guys talked about the striking already, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But in the grappling, I mean, the size difference is massive here. It's really massive. And Pericic, I've seen this guy go for like trip takedowns, and he seems to have decent wrestling. And if you get on top, he goes for those ground and pound, right? He goes like full mount and ground and pound. You have two options in that scenario. You either give up your neck and you get choked out, which, Ellison has been submitted before, or you just get ground and pound TKO. So, I mean, if I think the guy can get on top and he's much bigger, and I've seen this dude grab the neck before, I think the submission in round 1 is kind of live, honestly. And Ellison, again, I think the guy's a bum. Honestly, I'm going to say this straight up. I think the guy's a bum. The fight Keith mentioned about him getting pieced up by a complete can is the fight against Suatuai or something. The fight that he got a guillotine in round 1. If you guys have not watched that fight, you didn't bet that one yet, you want to tape it, go watch the fight against Suatuani for Ellison. The guy is 3-9 as a pro right now. He's been finishing all of his losses, right? And you got him in a guillotine. That guy was piecing this boy up. He was piecing him up. It was a terrible look. And then you got a guillotine. Props to him, but it was a terrible look. He's undersized for the division. And I think Pericic can win in the clinch. He's better in the clinch. He's better at distance. And he has more power. So, yeah, Ellison is fast. That's the only thing I'll give him. And Pericic is reckless. So he could get caught. It's heavyweight. That's his debut, obviously. But he's the one at home. He's the one they're trying to push. And I personally think the line now is fine, around 70%. I think that's where he should be. So if you want to have a little fun prop, maybe you just go with the first round submission, or you just go with the round 1 prop on Pericic. If you didn't get to a good money line spot, that's what I would suggest to do.
Okay. We'll do some comments here real quick. PS says, blah, blah, blah. He's fighting at Muckleshoot. That was enough to fade him. Yeah, exactly. What's going on, fellas? Paul, what's happening, brother? Appreciate it. Bro? This bum sub, if he's a bum and sub is super live, that's fine. Jewish, I was going to say, this is a Jewish better type of
Yeah, Jewish jerks off at night.
Oh, yeah, he liked that. He got hard. I'm sure he got hard on that.
Similar to the bias fight last night.
Yeah, possible, by the way. Very possible.
West Australia is Perth. Okay. Croatia stand up. Miracle Crow Cop Camp. That's for sure. Brando all day. What do you really had to sleep on that sub loss? Pretending to sleep. Yeah, that was a little weird. Pericic, KO minus 175. Dravi is black. Sounds good. We all get to be that because we hang out with Key. That's kind of how it works. Birds of a feather flock together.
That was because his screen was black, bro.
Oh,
Jesus.
And that's just how life works. He started training MMA 2 years ago. Yeah, so straightforward. All right, next fight we have here is Key. You're gonna be going first again. It's gonna be Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montague, 6-0 versus Luana Carolina, 11-4. Montague is -225. Luana Carolina plus 190. I mean, dude, you're talking about a girl Montague here that's got what 6 wins, 6 subs, all rear naked chokes versus Luana Carolina. I mean, what happens if she can't find the sub here? How does she look? And I didn't think she looked comfortable on the feet. What did you think, Kate?
I mean, we've seen it before. I mean, Sabrina De Souza, who's also in PFL right now, should be in the UFC, but Sabrina De Souza is a weight class down, a true flyweight, and amateurs at IMMAF. She was giving her problems and won both times. I believe she's the only girl to beat Montague. And keep an eye out for Sabrina for what it's worth. I think that she will eventually be a high-level UFC girl. But Montague, I mean, if she isn't able to get on top, shit gets tricky for her. She's kind of clunky on the feet, doesn't exactly know what she's doing. But luckily for her, Carolina is the antonym to sharp striker. Like, she is the antonym to sharp striker. She's going to punch herself into the clinch a million times, throwing a bunch of loopy shit. And I do think that Montague gets it done. And I think that sub is the way that she justifies this price tag one. And I think that that's the way that she gets it done. She is going to be massive compared to Carolina. Carolina's coming up from flyweight. Montague is coming down from featherweight in PFL.
Yeah, so, it's a big difference in size.
So, yeah, and there's a huge difference in physicality here. Montague's been, Carolina had bad looks, in my opinion, on the mat against Petrovic and Stoliarenko, and they both were able, grand total of 5 sub attempts between them. And keep in mind, the statisticians do not put in sub attempts unless they are like very, very obvious and very close. So to get almost like sub damn near 5 times and put yourself in danger that many times, and then you're seeing her in these positions where, in my opinion, she should have been able to scramble up and get on top against Petrovic. And she's just in these leg lock positions, and it's just stupid shit, in my opinion. I do think that she has gotten better on the mat, but she is not the level that she needs to be in a matchup like this where she's outmatched physically. I'm interested to see what weigh-ins look like. I think that Montague is going to look like the much bigger girl. I think that Montague is good wrestling against the cage only. Open mat, it is bad scenes. Like, I don't know if there's like a bend at the hip issue, and that's like, I don't know what it is, but she is just not a fluid wrestler in open mat scenarios. And I think that she does a little bit too much at times, whenever she could just simply out physical some of these girls. I think that Montague is fine, but like I said, and she is, in some fights, she did face a little bit of adversity, and she fought through it and was able to find her signature rear naked choke. So it's not like she's never seen adversity and is just running through everybody. So I don't expect her to look like a deer in headlights if she doesn't get the first takedown or two, because she will keep on fighting. And she's at American Top Team with Kayla Harrison. She's getting good looks every day. So I don't expect her to like instantly crumble as soon as she isn't able to get a takedown. So that's why I do think that this price tag is probably somewhere close to being right. I think it is a little bit due to a little bit of hype coming over as the shiny new toy, undefeated with a bunch of rear naked chokes. But I do think that it's probably somewhat correct. Carolina's outmatched physically. I can't count on her to give me 15 minutes of striking clean, striking and keeping distance and not punching your way into the clinch and throwing these big wild loopy shots and random shit that leads you into the clinch, because again, that will lead to Montague putting her up against the cage and being able to wrestle her down. And I think that once Montague's on top, her top pressure is 10 times better and different than Stoliarenko and Petrovic. Montague has a long, extensive grappling background. I expect for her to show here. I think that she gets the sub. Prices aren't like the sexiest right now from what I've seen so far. I'm still waiting for FanDuel and DraftKings to drop them. So I'm not like running to hit the sub button at plus 230s, I believe I saw earlier. So I do think she gets it done by sub. And Carolina in my opinion, hope is the fact that maybe Montague's cardio looks bad if there's a high pace.
All right. Yo, Peg just tuned in. Brando definitely isn't the first fight from Australia. JDM is. Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, I watched some bullshit fucking documentary on YouTube. That's what it comes down to when you're watching these big heavyweights that nobody knows about. Carolina stinks. Montague probably wins by sub. Other than that, no interest in this fight. What do you think, Joff?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I was taping that one before the stream, and I'm gonna look more into it. But I mean, I'm not sold on Montague yet. Like, she has not beat anyone good so far, and all of her win, it's all rear naked choke. It looked good, but some of those fights, those girls are getting back up, and she has some sketchy moments in the striking. I think her striking is bad. Like, let me tell you that. And then I think her wrestling in the body lock takedown, she's good and she's strong. And like he said, on the fence, she's good, but like single leg, double leg takedown, she's not good at it. I don't think Carolina takedown defense is bad. Her takedown defense is pretty decent. What I don't like about Carolina is her fight IQ, and also the fact that she's going to engage at the grappling herself too much sometimes. And when she's on the ground, she's not really good. So that's the problem. And Montague, she's going to be stronger. And if she gets on top, she's really good on the back with those rear naked choke. That's her move. So that's a concern. But I do think Carolina is probably going to be winning this fight till she's not type thing. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where the line's going to go from now. Because, if I think the girl's going to outstrike her and win the minute, and then there's a takedown, I don't think one takedown is the fight, honestly. I think she's going to need maybe 2 or 3 before getting that submission. And if she doesn't get that submission, I don't think her top control is really good unless she get the back. The thing with Carolina is she's good to get back up against the fence. And that's where Montague loves to get her takedowns on the fence. So if she get her down on the middle of the cage, I don't think she's going to get up. But if it's against the fence, I think she could. So that's kind of tricky, and experience also matter. I mean, Carolina's been there, done that for a long time, and Montague step up in competition, UFC debut. We know sometimes those fighters kind of fumble the bag, but yeah, she's the hometown fighter. Carolina's going to need to travel. She's going up a weight class. Maybe a good thing for her though, because she struggles so much to make the weight. So maybe she's going to look better here. We don't really know. And Montague, she's going down a weight class, which I mean, it could look good, like Kyle Ellison, for example, but she can also be so drained, and that could affect her cardio, could affect her durability. She's been hurt to the body before, so Carolina could maybe hit her with those body kick if the weight cut didn't go too well. We don't really know what can happen from there. So yeah, I think it's a dog or pass. Personally, I wouldn't play the money line, but maybe a submission prop if you like Montague. That's how she should win. And if she wins, that's because she's going to be able to get to dominant position in the grappling, right? So in that point, she's going to be live to find that submission. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I think Montague probably find that submission, but I'm debating if I want to play that submission or if I like Carolina money line better. So I'm going to finish tapes after the podcast on that one and see where I ends up. I'm going to post probably a bet for my members on Odd Shoppers for that one. We'll see.
All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. By the way, I'm going to send this right here. While Draw was doing his breakdown, I found it. Go to 120. I'm sorry. He's not the first Western Australian. He's the first Southern Australian UFC fighter or some shit like that. Not that it fucking matters. All right, we'll do comments real quick. Yep, Brando's going to beat his ass, but we're talking about that. Give up 2 minutes to Padalova. Can't even taking down Padalova. Nice job.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's clear concerns on Carolina. That's why I'm like, do I really want to bet her? Probably not. So, but at the same time, there's awful things that I've seen in the striking Montague, and Carolina is the much better striker to me here. So it's a striker versus grappler matchup. So what's up, prop?
What's happening, prop? I like the under 2.5.
I don't know about that, about her quitting. Like he said, there's a fight she got hurt, and she showed that she can fight through adversity and still manage to win. So I don't think she's a quitter, though. I wouldn't say that.
I'm trying to figure this guy's like a doctor or something. All right, early stream. Yeah, man, we had to do it because of the different days. I can't wait to go back to Tuesday nights, bro. When Daniel Canal series is over. Montague has never made 135 either. Yes, this is her first time coming down.
What up?
Maybe y'all saw Montague fight Floyd Mayweather. Give me Montague, Lennox, grappling, blah, blah, blah. All right. Yeah, so I don't know. Little girls fight. Next fight, it's going to be a banger. It's Colby Thicknesse versus Josiah Musasa, rather. No S in the end there. Musasa's minus 150. Colby Thicknesse plus 130. I'll go here first. So this guy, Thicknesse, he came into the UFC, originally just came in to fight Tapuria's brother, Alexander. I thought he looked very blah. Like he's pretty well-rounded for an MMA mixed martial artist. He can grapple, he can strike, he can do all those things, but he just looks like one of those guys that spends all his time at the gym and just isn't totally athletic. Like he doesn't have any of these he doesn't have any person or like any attribute that stands out that's like, wow, he's got power, wow, he's got slick subs, wow, he's got this. Nothing other than, he's tough, he's well-rounded. I guess like his jack of all tradesness would be probably the best thing. Now he's fighting here against a guy Musasa, where he's got knockout power, he's relatively green, he just got subbed in his last fight against Carlos Vera, which is obviously not a great look, but kind of could have been kind of fluky there. I mean, he got rocked first, but all in all, like minus 140, this is either going to be like this is the buy low spot on Musasa, or it's going to be just a lesson in MMA from Colby. So I'm going to go with Musasa here, minus 140, and take the shot. I think it's a buy low. If there's any finishing upside, I think it's going to be from Musasa. I think he probably KOs Colby because Colby can be hit. But I don't know. Colby just like I said, it doesn't really impress me. He doesn't really do much special. He's got like good fight IQ, well-rounded out of Volk's camp. But I think I'm on Musasa's by KO here. Pretty straightforward. What do you think, Trav?
Yeah, I'm kind of high on Musasa, and I know people are probably low on him now. I bet him on Dynamite Contender Series. He was a big underdog. The guy that he beat on Dynamite Contender Series, by the way, he's really good. He's probably going to be back next year on Dynamite Contender Series. He was a big underdog, and he found out a way to win. I was really impressed with his cardio, his takedown defense, and get-up game, especially in that fight. And the fact that he was always the one pressuring the entire time. That guy that he fought, again, Tanzilovi, he's a good fighter. He won a fight after that, and he's going to be back soon, I think. And then the Carlos Vera fight. Obviously, shit happened. To me, honestly, it was a kind of a meme. Like, he got caught, shit happened. But Carlos Vera, I know he's not good, but to give him some credit, he's a 4-degree black belt in Taekwondo, right? He has those tricky kicks, and he's a BJJ black belt. So he caught him with a kick in the pocket that Musasa didn't see coming. He didn't respect him at all on the feet, and he got caught. He paid the price for it, and then he defended the submission at first, and then he locked that submission again, the rear naked choke, and he doesn't fight it. He's probably hurt still, and he tap, and he's like, I'm ready to go home. So not a good look on that hand. But honestly, I don't think he's chinny or anything like that. Like the guy I'm talking about on Dynamite Contender Series hit him with some clean head kick, clean knees. And it didn't phase him at all. So I'm not saying he's chinny. And yeah, he got caught, so shit happened. There's also the fight that he had a round 2 KO against Peg. There's echo when I talk. Mute yourself. The fight against Diata, right? So that guy that he beat in round 2 by KO has won 6 fights after that. He's another guy from the same place as him, power guy. That's winning his fight by KO. So he got hurt. He got dropped in that fight. And then, he showed that dog in him, came back and won. And he kind of beat this guy ass as the fight goes on. So, yeah, Musasa, to me, here in this matchup, he's the better striker. He's going to be the one pressuring. He has much more power than Colby, and he's much faster than Colby, right? What I don't like about Musasa, but I also don't like about Colby, is that they're both really hittable. And I think that Musasa has an issue blocking the head kicks, and he doesn't really see them coming on Dynamite Contender Series and his UFC debut. And Colby, even though I don't think he's a really good striker, he has good kicks, right? I'll give him that. He has good kicks, decent footwork. And then let's talk about the wrestling and the grappling. I think Thicknesse wrestling is not good. Honestly, I don't think it's good. But also, I think Musasa is going to be much stronger than him. So that's going to be hard for him to get takedown. If you get a takedown, he's not really good on top. What he's good at is he's good on the back. The back take, the rear naked choke, that's his move. So like maybe he can jump the back or something. But if he doesn't do that, and I don't think he's going to have an easy time taking him down. And even if he does take him down, Musasa has really good get-up game. And I don't think Kobe hurting him is very likely unless he catch him with a head kick, which would be kind of meanish if that happened again to him. Now, what I don't like is the fact that Musasa is still training like the Congo. He's not with good training partners. He doesn't really want to, move to another camp. He's still there, so that's not great. But the guy looks like a physical freak, honestly. And Kobe is at Volkanovski camp having good looks, so maybe he's going to be improving. And it's kind of weird. Remember, they signed this dude for one fight deal against the Topuria brother. So they were clearly bringing him in on short notice for him to lose against Topuria. And then after that, he ended up having, I don't know if that's a contract or just another fight, but they were bringing this guy to lose and to cut him after. So they don't really love him, obviously, in the UFC. And on the other hand, Musasa, they thought they find something on him. Usman trying to push this kid, and then they gave him one of the probably easiest matchup in the division, Carlos Vera. He's a minus 1,000 favorite, and he fumbled the bag, right? He got caught, he fumbled the bag. Now he's back down to minus 150, where I think it's probably a buy low spot, honestly. But I could see this fight playing out a lot of different ways. I could see Musasa just making it look easy, knocking this dude out. But Kobe, for his credit, he's pretty tough. So maybe Musasa hurt him but doesn't finish him. And then if the fight goes 15 minutes, they both have good cardio. But I think Musasa is going to be the one pressuring. And I think he's going to defend the takedown. So if that happened, if you go 15s, he's probably going to be the one landing more damage, the bigger shots, the one pressuring. And I think he's more likely to finish. So because of that, and he has the higher ceiling to me, I think he has some crazy ceiling if he improves his game a little bit. And if you go out there with a better camp. So, yeah, I think Musasa is going to get it done. I'm not sure if it's decision or KO. Kind of 50-50 between the two. But I think he's going to get it done. Peg, you're still.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I haven't taped this fight. This is one of the fights I haven't gotten to yet. I think that Musasa gets it done. I'm interested to see what Thicknesse, what his wrestling looks like on tape, rewatching. But I think the Musasa gets it done.
It's not good, kid.
It's not good. His wrestling is not good. His grappling is good, though.
Yeah, y'all are telling me that I got to see it, but it'll be interesting to see. I think that there's an obvious physicality difference as Musasa seems to be a freak. Pause. But I think the Musasa should get it done. I'd like to see, as Drob mentioned, see him get out and get some real good looks, get some real training. Even if it's at the PI, even if it's a syndicate, I just want to see him get out and actually get some real training and good looks. I don't think that staying in Congo is going to do his career well.
Yeah. All right. Do some comments real quick. Where are we at right now?
And I'm not sure how far Congo is from Australia, so that's an interesting travel. And I have to assume that this is his first time dealing with travel like this.
Congo, if I were to guess, probably like 12 hours. Totally made that up. No idea. I just figured South Africa, across the water a little bit.
That's my goal. That's my goal right there.
Yep. All right. Chaos Colby, what's up, gentlemen? What's happening, Glenbot?
What's up?
Mid IQ. Thicknesse by sub. Watch the Volk's breakdown on Perth card. Check it out. I'll tune in. Like a good breakdown for Volk. So JB and Daz. Musasa saying was killed by monkeys. Seriously, I think
the only fighter with good breakdowns is Bilal Muhammad. Honestly, the only guy that like pick fight right.
Breakdowns.
Let me ask y'all this real quick for this fight. Like, and I'll play the role of a viewer here, but if, let's say, Thicknesse does get the back round one or ends up in half guard round one, what are chances Musasa either gets up, and two, what's chances of Thicknesse getting a sub?
So his get up is really good. So if he gets to half guard, he's gonna get up. The worry is if Thicknesse get the back, he could submit it. That's the worry.
But his thing is, he does well. He's good at just standing up. Just get up, get back to the cage, get up.
Really strong and good urgency to get back up.
Yeah. Here he said Marco Polo giving us African travel times. Yeah, basically. Jamal Hill has good breakdowns too, actually. Dude, all these guys are doing breakdowns. What about Money Moicano? He's got his own too. He's got his own show. And all these guys are doing breakdowns. They're taking everything we work for. All right. Next fight, Jamie Mullarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. I mean, I couldn't think of an uglier fight than these two right here. Couldn't think of an uglier fight. Rolando Bedoya is 0-3 in his 0-3 in his last three. Mullarkey's 1-2, and he hasn't fought in 2 years, I think, or something like that.
No, they have like 1.5 years or something layoff.
Yeah, something like that. Line on these two gentlemen, it's pretty much a straight pick them at this rate. You can get I'm just trying to find this line. Why they go minus 120 Mullarkey, plus 100 Bedoya. Drav, I'm gonna have you go first. I mean, you got to assume now that Bedoya is back at a normal weight class, he's gonna knock out Mullarkey, being that his chin stinks now, right?
It's kind of a tricky fight, honestly, because Mullarkey's more skill. He's the better striker and he's faster. And if anyone wrestle, it's gonna be him. And he fought the better guys. So, and when he gets KO'd, it's against dangerous fighter. But I do think that his durability is kind of cooked because he got hurt in like his last 7 fights or something like that, like a crazy stat. He get hurt almost every time. And one of the fight that I think it's concerning is the fight against John McDassie, right? That McDassie doesn't have power. He's a small guy. And Mullarkey tried to fight a safe fight in that one. And even though he tried to fight a safe fight, I'm not even sure that, first of all, he won. I've bet him there, and I'm not confident he won. And then the other thing is he got hurt, right? He got hurt in that fight. So not a good look. And, he got knocked out against Naimov, who's a flyweight. Not a good look. Nasrat knocked him out badly. I mean, Nasrat is dangerous, but he doesn't really knock out people easily like that. We were there, though. Bet Nasrat KO at a big price. He got caught by Ruffy. That happened. Prado kind of wobbled him a little bit, but he didn't get hurt too much. Johnson fight, he got hurt bad. Smith buzzed him. Turner hurt him. So, bro, he gets hurt in almost every fight, Mullarkey. And the thing with him as well, Mullarkey, is that his striking defense in the pocket is not good. He loves to bang. He loves to fight. And the problem with that is that, first of all, like I said, his shin is cooked. And the other problem is that he doesn't take damage well. Do you guys notice, like, when he get hit a couple times, his nose start bleeding easily, his face turn red? I don't like to see that for the visual of the judges. I really don't. And Bedoya is the clear opposite. Like, he get hit with some bombs of Chaos William. It doesn't happen in his face, right? He look like he never been hit. So he has good durability. I'll say Bedoya is also very hittable himself. So there's a chance that, like, Mullarkey is just too fast for him and put on a clinic, because Bedoya doesn't have much power. But the thing I like about Bedoya is the fact that he throw a shit ton of volume, right? He throw a lot of volume, and he pressure all the time. So Mullarkey is going to have no choice to engage in that fight and throw back with him, right? But if Bedoya throw more volume and pressure him, even though he doesn't have the big power, if he land like 100 significant strike on Mullarkey, I'm not confident he can take those. I'm really not. And I think Bedoya has the durability hedge. I think he has the volume hedge. And I think that even though he's on a 3-fight losing streak, I think that he beat Chaos William. And the Jai Herbert fight, I mean, it was not the greatest look, but he made that fight competitive at moments. I don't know if you guys rewatch it, but round 1, Jai Herbert's face is already like fucked up. One of his highs, he had success, Herbert. He dropped Bedoya, and he was kind of, out striking him, but Bedoya landed some big shot, and, Jai Herbert's face was already red and damaged. I can only imagine Mullarkey, what that's going to look like. The thing with Bedoya, he has those stepping elbow in the pocket. That could be, a good weapon here. And I just don't think he should be an underdog, honestly. Yeah, he's a shooter box guy from Peru, obviously. And I just think that probably gonna be a close fight, but I think Bedoya is more likely to hurt Mullarkey or win big moments in the fight. And I just can't trust Mullarkey right now, especially with a minus behind his name. So I think it's a close fight though. I think that like Bedoya should be maybe minus 125 ish. Not too confident he wins, but I do think as an underdog, he's a good play with the upside that he has.
Key, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, this is a pass fight for me personally. I went into tape wanting to get to a Bedoya spot, but Bedoya is worse than I remembered. I knew that he was a volume thrower at blah blah blah. I bet Chaos, I believe KO in that fight, and so I was shitty and sad. But I think the Bedoya kind of is. I think somebody even said it in chat, but it's kind of like I feel like his memory, people's memory of him is kind of him overachieving in the Chaos fight on short notice, rather than it is his actual skill set. I will say, I love Bedoya's volume. But in my opinion, he's kind of like Bahamunde's like special ed little brother. Like he's just throwing a lot of volume with zero process. Like he's not setting stuff up truly. It's not like he's setting traps. Like he has no hands, which was really the most disappointing part and why I couldn't get down on a bet was I haven't really seen him harm anybody with his hands. Like and in this matchup, if I was confident that he could stand in the pocket and put together a 2-piece combination, 3-piece combination, blah, 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 in boxing range, I would easily hit this button because I don't think that Mullarkey is good from durability standpoint. I think that he's cooked. But Bedoya is just going to kick at the legs and then throw big overhands and like big loopy shots. And yeah, one of them could crack, but like, are you going to show me a real stiff jab? Are you going to show me a good cross? Like, and I just didn't see that. I saw a lot of volume, but defensively, he just kind of has no regard. Like it's just kind of chin up, do what I just sort of off the fact that, yeah, he has a good chin. But again, that's like whenever you think of Bedoya, that's one of his first traits that stands out. And that's a bad sign to me for a guy that's a striker. I don't want to hear that because in my opinion, you're just getting hit too much if that's the case. Jai Herbert fight. Jai's a sharp striker. But Jai's, in my opinion, Jai's never looked cleaner. Like the way it made Jai look like a world-class boxer. And I think then the Song Kanan fight is what it is. And I get it, 170. That I think that's obviously the wrong weight class for him. But here, I think the Mullarkey can cage push potentially. I'm not sure what it looks like if Mullarkey puts him on his ass. And Mullarkey can wrestle. Like it's not like his wrestling is awful. He can wrestle. And I don't necessarily think that he top times him for 15 minutes or anything, but I think that he can help himself win rounds off of that. It's important to note Mullarkey took over a year off after the roofie knockout. And like he's been hurt in just about every fight besides the Prado fight, if my memory serves correct. And I do think that Magny won that fight. I think the Mullarkey got away with robbery there. But again, that was a fight that was in Australia. It's something worth noting. So the crowd behind Mullarkey, and that can definitely play a part in a fight like this where Bedoya is kind of on thin margins if he doesn't hurt him. Like if he doesn't hurt him with something clean with his hands, this ends up being kind of a shit show. And I bet on low-level women's MMA, but I won't bet on low-level men's MMA. What you meant to say is a rich man. So, hey, I think that that's a good comp there. But I think the Bedoya I think Mullarkey probably has the better timing. And like if Mullarkey's chin wasn't completely shot, I'd probably get down on Mullarkey. So again, that's just kind of tells you the type of fight that this is. I think that's about 50-50. And I do think somebody put in chat finish only prop. Peg, if you can bring up that comment. The finish only prop, I think that's solid. Bedoya is durable. I don't expect Mullarkey to put him down or sub him. And I think that if anybody gets put down here, it's Mullarkey and that bad chin. So I think that's a solid way to play him. That kind of takes away from Bedoya being kind of a shitter, honestly, for most part of his UFC career. So pick-wise, I guess I'll lean the slightest of lean just because they're in Australia and the crowd will be behind them too. I'll guess I'll slightly lean Mullarkey, but I could easily see Bedoya hurting him, winning this fight. But again, just the lack of boxing and the lack of process was really disappointing to see. He's just spamming volume and leg kicks. Like, if majority of your volume is leg kicks, I'm not trying to watch the shit Peruvian Shara bullet dance around and leg kick for 15 minutes and pray my bet hits. So I'll pass on this fight, but hopefully these guys can cash their Bedoya tickets.
Yeah, I'm on Bedoya for sure. I think he's going to knock out Mullarkey. His chin's gone. Bedoya is now coming down to 155. I think he's going to look better. More time at the jukebox camp, more time to grow, younger guy. But yeah, I mean, he also doesn't fuck off. So, like, I was on him against Herbert. Here I am again against Mullarkey. He loses here, I'll probably hate him forever.
And also, it's because Paul mentioned this in chat too, but like, this is Bedoya has not even come close to the hand speed of fucking Michael Johnson, Magdesi, Hakparash, Rufy, like that, not even close. So like that's a different level of speed and power that he's been seeing.
I mean, yeah, he looked good in that fight, but let's put some context into it. Since that performance, he got knocked out 3 times, and he got hurt 4 times in his last 4 fights. So, like, is he the same fighter now? Personally, I have no evidence to tell me he is. And even in that fight, he got hurt bad.
This is kind of my point.
Yeah,
too.
The chin isn't going to get better. That's for damn sure. The chin is not going to get better, and we'll talk about that in the main event too. But I think that this is definitely a step down in competition for what it's worth. But
yeah,
I don't think anybody should be backing Mullarkey, honestly, at minus 120.
He's more skill, and I agree with that. He's like the better striker. So it's just, I mean, the Johnson, if his last fight was a Johnson fight, then yeah, I get it. But you know, you got knocked out 3 times after that. So yeah.
Chin has to be baked in at this point. Yeah.
That's definitely baked into the line.
It is, but he's still a favorite.
Yeah. I think favorite's fair too. I'd probably cap him to like minus 150, something like that. That's why I played pickup.
Cap who to minus 150?
Bedoya.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Mo. I was like, why the fuck would you bet Bedoya?
No, Bedoya.
I was thinking the same, bro.
I mean, but here's the thing is, this ticket, I played minus 110 on Bedoya money line. How is that the same odds as this? Like, this is probably the best bet you could almost make.
Yeah, to me, that's better than money line.
That's 100%.
If we're truly banking on Mullarkey's chin being done.
That's probably a big part to my capping is his chin being done.
Yeah, I mean, if you like Bedoya also, I think his KO prop is like plus 4xx, so that's
good to think about too. Yeah, Mullarkey with a chin, minus 250. Yeah, it's with a chin. Yeah, durability's there. He's also not going to be afraid of Jay Mullarkey. He's gonna walk him down the whole time. All right, next fight: Jonathan Micalleff versus Oban Elliot, the Welsh gangster. Welsh gangster is sitting at minus 102. Oh, I'm sorry, minus 118. Jonathan Micalleff is minus 102. A lot of close fights, odds-wise, this card. Drav, I'll have you go first here. Or Key, I'm going to have you go first here. I mean, Oban Elliott, this is either a buy low spot on him at minus 118. Everyone seems to think that Micalleff is like a very good fighter now. We've seen Oban get taken down a bunch of times, now grappled by Ko at plus 4x. Now where he's getting Micalleff, who is a big, aggressive kicker and wrestler. Do you think he has success with the wrestling?
I'm not sure to answer that question. But I can say that I'm definitely not getting down on Elliot here. And it isn't just a co-fight. But honestly, once you start to put a lot of his fights in the light, shit starts to look a little tricky. I think that the guy, one, is a little bit chinny. He's been put down before. We saw it in Cage Warriors a few times. And two, I'm just not sure what, like, physicality wise, how does this fight play out? Like, I have to imagine Micalleff is going to be the more physical guy here. And I just haven't seen enough of Micalleff. And so if there's anybody that I'm willing to get down on, it's Micalleff here. And we'll see. I might continue to try to find some more tape or even pay for some of those hex fights and make it happen. But I think that Elliot, I mean, UFC wins. The Preston Parsons fight was a good fight. Was a good performance. Outside of that, I mean, I haven't been overly impressed. Hafez, it is what it is. Like in my opinion, most guys should beat Hafez. And Val Woodburn is a fucking joke, and he got put down in that fight. So it's just kind of weird. I'm not sure how he wins. Like calf kick and jab around for a while. Like it's just interesting. Micalleff is weird. He defensively, I don't think that he's very good on the feet, but his long reach, he has such like an awkward body and frame. It has to feel weird to be striking against him because he has these really long arms. His mechanics just seem kind of janky to me. But I think that the guy's solid. This fight could be lined correctly. Lean wise, I'll go Micalleff. I'll just slightly lean Micalleff because I think that the jury's still out on Oban Elliot. I'm not convinced that this guy is solid. And the Ko fight was concerning to get dominated and horsed around like that. And Ko is good, as the guys on the panel have bet him before. So it's not like Ko's a joke or anything. But it was a concerning fight to be a minus 485 favorite and get literally just horsed and dogged around for three rounds straight. So I'm not sure. I'll passing right now. And not super confident in my read on this fight. But I know that Drav and Peg have some strong opinions on this fight.
Well, I wouldn't say strong opinions. I was definitely looking at this fight after taping it. It's got to be Oban or pass for me. I haven't put money down on Oban yet just because I don't necessarily trust him. Also, I think one of the things that were glaring was the takedown defense of Oban. Obviously, Oban was taken down by Ko is a decent grappler. He's not great, but Jonathan Micalleff is a good grappler, and he's big for the weight class, and he's very strong. So he'll be able to get these takedowns if he wants them. The kicks from distance probably could have some success with those over time on Oban, who kind of stands in front of you there. But in the same sense, like I said, Oban, better competition. I think all around kind of the better fighter. But like he just has some holes that you can't really trust, especially at like pick 'em odds. So like for me, it's going to be Oban or pass, but I don't really want to get involved here. Kind of going to watch and see how Oban progresses. What do you think, Drav? You have a better read than me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a close fight. Like, I'm not going to act like it's not. It's a close fight. I just think that it's more of a market perspective. Like, obviously, the market were very high on Oban Elliot in his last fight. Took advantage of it with betting Ko at like plus 400. But even his last couple fights after the Now Contender Series, they were pricing him as a favorite after the Parson performance, which I think he looked good in that fight. And yeah, now, he's back at Pick'em against Micalleff, and Micalleff was an underdog against Kevin Jousset. Now he's picking against a better fighter, I think, in Oban Elliot. So the thing here for me, the way I read this fight is I think Micalleff is the better kicker, and I think that he's gonna have success with body kick and head kick. But bro, Kevin Jousset is a punching bag, and he couldn't find a way. Peg, mute yourself. There's always echo in your background when you're not talking. But yeah, I mean, Micalleff looked good in that fight. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But honestly, Kevin Jousset had a bad performance. Couldn't, do anything about the body kick. Had no defense whatsoever. And when he started to pressure correctly in round 3, he had success. But it was too late. I know he was injured in that fight going in, but yeah, still. And Micalleff on that Contender Series, getting, kind of a clinch up, wrestle a bit against Ado or something, was turned out to not be good and lose fight on the regional after that. Not a great win, honestly. And Micalleff he's a freak. He's a physical freak. He's big for the weight class. He's a tough dude as well. But yeah, the grappling is interesting because I do think Elliot is the better wrestler of the two, and he's more likely to get takedowns. But I don't think he's going to have an easy time controlling Micalleff. I think Micalleff per BJJ is probably better, but I think Oban is clearly the wrestler, and I think he can I think he can decide where the fight take place. On the feet, I think at distance, Micalleff is better with the kicks, but I think Oban has the much better hands. I think his boxing is better. And I do think that Micalleff is hittable, and in the pocket that I think Elliot can have a lot of success. So I think Elliot also, his defense and his footwork is better. And he's just been more tested at a higher level, I think, in the UFC so far. He's now training with Ian Gary, which, could be good.
Really?
Yeah, after his last fight, he posted a couple pictures on Instagram.
So he's not with Jack Shore's dad at all anymore.
I'm not sure about that. But it doesn't look like it. All of his last couple pictures of training is with Ian Gary and another guy. I don't remember his name, but it seems to be locked in, training hard. I just think Ulberg is slightly the better fighter, honestly. And if I think he can decide where the fight take place, I think that he has the better boxing, the better defense, the better footwork. And I think he has to avoid body kick and head kick. And that's now pretty evident after Micalleff's last performance. And maybe he can catch those kicks with takedowns. And also he switched stances. And he has a good deep kick to the body himself. And he can fight from both stances. So that can be, good as well. I think Ulberg should be like minus 150. I don't think he should be a big favorite, but I do think he's going to win this fight.
All right, we'll do some comments here. How many decisions are you guys going to see on this card? I'm seeing a lot. I mean, I think early on, yeah, but I think it'll get better. Oban's a bully. JDM go the distance with. Giuseppe's a better striker than Elliot. Different types of strikers. Whitaker brought in Micalleff to be his main training partner in preparation for RDR. Yeah, and he got swamped.
He did not get swamped that bad, bro.
Oh, he got swamped, bro. The swamp formed and engulfed him.
RDR damn near died, didn't he?
No, never. I took Micalleff plus 155 and Pericic plus 105. Both should be pick 'em. Sure, I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, good job on those lines.
Yeah, so Champ agrees too. Why even bother getting involved? All right, Micalleff 5-inch reach advantage will stay long. We'll have time reach him. Yeah, that's where he gets away with those kicks too. That kicking range is good for Micalleff. So
I mean, he's not really good at maintaining range. He's only good with those kicks, but like in the boxing, I don't think he's really good, honestly. But we'll see.
All right, next fight is this one's going to be an interesting one. We got the Battle Giraffe versus Andre Petroski. Petroski 13-4, Cam Rowsten 12-3. Odds in these two gentlemen. I mean, Drav gave out Petroski as his free pick of the week and steamed the line all the way up to minus 170. I thought I was going to catch a buyback, but
it's minus 175 now.
Yeah, so minus 170 to minus 175 on Petroski, Cam Rowsten plus 145 to plus 150. You can go first since you gave it out as the free pick. I mean, obviously planning Andre Petroski to get a big grappling game plan here, like we saw like the Torres Finney fight against Rowsten, right?
Yeah, I think you should bet the submission if you miss the line. Plus 460.
Okay.
It's a good angle. I mean, I've tried to fade Rowsten, full transparency on Dynamite Contender Series recently. It didn't pay off, right? He got a knockout. But guys, remember his knockout prop was like plus 5 or plus 600, right? Maybe even higher than that. They were not expecting him to get a knockout. Why? Because first of all, his striking is not really good. Second off, he doesn't really have much power. He's more so a grappler, Rowsten. He's a big dude, but he's more so a grappler. And you win fight with grappling, right? That's what he does. The problem here is that Petroski is a much better wrestler and a much better grappler than Rowsten is. Petroski is a much better wrestler and grappler than Finney is, right? Petroski, for all the flaws you can say about the dude, he can grapple his ass off. Let's just put it that way, right? And also the difference between him and Finney is that his top control and his BJJ and submissions are much better than Finney. So if Finney can get a lot of control, and a lot of takedowns, I think Petroski can do the same. But I don't think he's going to need as much takedowns to get control over Rowsten. Rowsten gave up his back sometime. He gave up his head sometime. Petroski has a nasty anaconda choke. He has, I think, one in the UFC. But by the way, that Thurman fight, he got a submission in my eyes. He put him out and he woke him up. So that was pretty crazy. Look at those guys' resume. It's not even comparable. Petroski has win over Rodolfo Vieira, over guys like GM3, two really good grappler. And when you lose against good guys most of the time. And yeah, he lost to Edman. Didn't look too good here. But do you know what Edman Shabajian would do to Cam Rowsten if they fight? Do you know? Because it wouldn't be competitive. I don't think Rowsten's that the distance. Do you know what Jacob Malkoun would do to Rowsten? Oh, they already fought. He beat him as well. So I don't know, man. Looking into this fight, it's like Petroski at close odds. He's the much better grappler. And on the feet, maybe you can say Rowsten is the better striker, but it's a close fight on the feet, right? Petroski has been proven in the striking against way better guys than Rowsten has. And Rowsten on the regional, his striking is ugly, man. You get hit with against those bumps. His defense is not good. He's sloppy. Yeah, I guess he's improving. He looked a bit better in his last fight. And my only concerns are that his knees are good, and maybe he can catch Petroski with those knees, especially if Petroski go for a takedown, right? But I do think it's close on the feet. I think Petroski is way more proven, and I think that Petroski is the way better grappler, and he's more likely to submit Rowsten. So I'm willing to, risk that Rowsten catch him, considering that he's not really a good striker, that he doesn't have much power in his hands. I think Petroski can decide where the fight take place and maybe finish the fight by submission. So yeah, Petroski here for me. Another fact, it's also a collab play that I did with Narco, and he's the one that told me that. But Petroski has never lost in the UFC as a favorite. So people love to shit on him and say, I got some comments on my tweet say, "Oh, how can you bet Petroski as a favorite? It's nasty work. You shouldn't be betting him as a favorite." He never lost as a favorite, right? So he never lost. And, he beat better guys than Rowsten his. So it's a massive step up in competition for Rowsten. And that's also his UFC debut and a quick turnaround. So I think it's Petroski all day here. I think he's live to find a submission. I think he can win a decision. And I think Rowsten's going to need to hurt him or fight a perfect fight to win. He has a good get-up game, Rowsten. I'll give him that. But again, he has not fought a grappler like Petroski is. And Petroski is flaky. Maybe he can get hurt. But yeah, I don't know. For me, here is Petroski. I think he should be maybe around 65 to 70% more so. I play minus 135 for me and my I was about to say something else. Me and my hot chopper guys, we got minus 135. I posted at minus 165, I think, with Narco. I still think it's good. I think that it's a really good price. I do think it should be, like I said, more so in the 65 to 70% range. Considering he's the minute winner, considering he has more finishing upside, that he can decide where the fight take place. That's also a step down in competition for him. It's a step up for Rowsten making his UFC debut. So yeah, people are loving Rowsten now as an underdog, but we'll see. I don't think he's really good.
Yeah, definitely. I played Petroski against Josh Fremd at minus 125 when people were afraid to do that. It's pretty clear here. Torres Finney just outpowered Rowsten. Petroski is actually a better grappler and wrestler. And I faded Petroski last fight with Vieira, and he outstruck Vieira, I guess. I kind of thought it was closer than the judges did, but hey, it is what it is. So I kind of got this fight tape a little bit late. By that time, it was already minus 160. I didn't really feel like paying that price because Petroski's chin can wilt at times. He can get tired at times. So I don't know. That was kind of my distance there. Plus, Cam Rowsten is a pretty good striker. He's kind of on the up and up. Could get weird, especially on short notice. So I don't know. Could be what it is. Key, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no real great opinions. I still have PTSD from my Petroski experience versus GM3.
Bro, you never did him since then, I think.
I can't get that shit out of my head. He was supposed to kill that man, and instead he allowed GM3 to outstrike him, and it was bad scenes.
Key, you need to get that fight out of your head, bro.
Man, assholes were clenched at that decision. I won't forget that feeling. But nah, in all seriousness, though, I think that Petroski is at times people overblow some of the shit with him and make it seem like he's just complete dog shit. And I don't think that that's the case. Durability-wise, I do worry about him, especially with the knees. Knees to the body and to the head. Knees to the body for the cardio portion, because I don't think the Petroski has great cardio. And sitting on top of Fremd and Budka for fights does not show me that you have good cardio all of a sudden.
I just want to point out, Key, Fremd didn't try to get back up at all.
At all.
And Rowsten is going to try, and when that happens, that's one of the reasons I think Petroski is going to be more likely to submit him. If a guy just willing to stay on the back and don't fight, it's gonna be hard to submit him, right? So just
So what's sub number?
plus 460. I play that.
Yeah, I think that has to be a play if you are a Petroski backer, because I think that's a good bit of his equity here as Peg writes that down to bet later. But I think that's a good portion of his upside here, because I think that Rowsten, if he continues to get back up,
It's just timestamps. I'm writing down the timestamps.
Sounds good, buddy. He flipped the page, y'all. But I think that here, Rowsten, if he does continuously get back up, and he does show urgency to get up, and I'm not taking, because the Finney fight, that is completely different than Petroski fight. Petroski has 10 times better control, and it doesn't need 10 takedowns to win the fucking fight. He needs 3, in my opinion. And so I think that if he does end up on the back, Petroski could cruise and look completely fine. But if Rowsten starts to get any bit of separation and starts having those knees to the body, Petroski is a guy that has wilted before, has had a lot of weird-ass moments in the cage. And at minus 175, I'm not looking to back a guy that is like that I know has those type of traits. And he doesn't seem to be like fighting with the same intensity and aggressiveness that he used to be. Like whenever he was first coming up and like first getting on his win streak, he was fighting with a lot more like hate in his heart, it felt like. And he doesn't seem like the same guy, and part of that is tone it down to try to have better cardio too. But it's not like he's really like banging the overhands, getting into clinch and shooting double legs, cage wrestling. Cage wrestling is still good, and I expect for that to be the biggest part of his biggest path to victory here. But again, hanging out on that clinch with Rowsten, those knees get up quickly, and I think that can eat the gas tank and also eat at the head of Petroski. So I picked Petroski to win. I do think that he is a legit good grappler, and I think that if he gets on the back of Rowsten, it's the fighter of the round, and Rowsten probably will give up his back to get up. So it will be interesting to see that play out early. But after 7.5 minutes, do I really count on Petroski to keep on shooting and keep on finding the back if Rowsten's getting up? The answer for that question for me is no. And so for that reason, it's a pass. I do pick Petroski to win. I hope he wins and gets the sub to cash these guys out.
Key, I have a question. What do you think about Rowsten striking?
I don't think that it's very good. Honestly, I thought that Rowsten was complete shit before the contender series. I know that y'all bet. I think y'all bet Holmes, right? Y'all bet Holmes. Yeah. So I think that Holmes is shit too, and just has no defense and is awful. Yeah. But I don't think that Rowsten's that good of a striker to be coming out of CKB. I think that he gets off being the bigger man, having knees, and then being able to defend takedowns. And he has, it's obvious that he's put in some time on the mat. And with the Hickman brothers over at CKB2, I'm sure that his first layer of takedown defense is going to be on point. But again, Petroski cage wrestles really well. So that's the reason why I do believe that he gets it done here.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. The thing for me is, like, I think it's close in the striking as well. That's my thing. So it's like, I don't think Rowsten striking is good. He has some sketchy moments against complete bums on the regional. So, yeah, I'm not saying Petroski is a great striker, but, you know, he had some competitive fighting and striking in the UFC.
Is Rowsten that true?
I thought he was a Marquez MMA. I don't think
I thought he was with the Philly boys.
No, he's not anymore. He's with some Alki guys. That's also a concern. But
guys?
Yeah, he's helping an Alki team for fighting or stuff like that. But he's not been there like just now. It's been a couple months. So yeah, if you go on his Instagram,
I saw that for the NHL. I saw that thing.
Yeah, I would fix Petroski to come and teach you how to clinch fight in a hockey fight. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I've listened to his interview, but
a wrestler.
He said that he's coming to Perth like a week or two earlier, and he's gonna meet some other guys in there. So maybe he has other training partner. He has one training partner that's doing MMA and bare knuckle that is with him for this hockey team that he's coaching. And he said that helped him a lot. He's more disciplined now since he's been doing that and stuff like that. I don't think he's been with the Philly boy for like a year now.
I don't like that for what it's worth.
I don't like that as well. Don't get me wrong. I don't like that as well.
Matt Rempe on the Rangers does Muay Thai. One of the UFC fighters was doing it with him for a bit, like as like a little collab between them. But I didn't know Petroski left to go do this full time. That's fucking crazy. All right. Now I think that Battle Giraffe money line plus 150. Some people aren't focused on the game. No, I'm kidding. He could wrestle for a year, still wouldn't be a good enough wrestler. Navajo Stirling, Rodolfo Bellato. Bellato is plus 200. Navajo Stirling minus 235. Key, does Navajo Stirling finally get the highlight KO he's been waiting for since he joined the UFC as such a highly touted kickboxing prospect?
I mean, he's gonna have all the chances in the fucking world to do so because Bellato comes at you, and that's his game plan. Unless you're Paul Craig, apparently then he tones it back and is really careful, and then gets fucking upkicked, knocked out. We can argue for days if that was fake or not, but regardless, I think the Stirling is gonna have all the opportunities in the world to knock him out. Stirling it seems like he wants to be really educated at times, like overly like patient and really find his reads and look real smooth, when I think that he could knock some of these guys out if he just were a little bit more aggressive. I backed him on Contender Series and was glad to do so versus a bum in Latu. But Bellato has a pulse. He comes forward. His durability is getting worse by the day. I mean, his quality of life after MMA will be a sight to see, because he just comes forward, no regard for defense, just less bang, and I expect for that to be the case here. I could see Stirling getting a KO early. I could see Bellato potentially getting a KO late if he just completely outpaces him and outworks Stirling and overwhelms him. Sub for who? Bellato. Are we counting on Bellato to make smart decisions in the cage?
I mean, dude, I think it's levels difference on the mat. If you want to talk about that,
Stirling's a big kid and is athletic. I don't think there's like instant levels. It's not like an instant.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think Navajo Stirling knocks him out. It's an easy spot, easy click.
I don't know if it's easy, but he has the tools to make it look easy. So I do pick Stirling to win and Stirling by KO, but Bellato could make this interesting if he gets outside the first 7.5 minutes.
Gotcha. What do you think, Drop? Oh, guys, by the way, this is the start of the main card. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's how you support us. It's how we get more shit on the channel. That's how we're going to do more collabs. Everything's going to get better.
So Stirling is coming back after a KO win in round 3, and Bellato is coming back after a KO loss in round 1, right? So now we have a fight here.
Whoa. Stirling was decision versus Erslan.
Yeah,
that was a KO in round 3. I saw it live. It was a KO in round 3. The guy went face plant to the canvas, and the ref didn't stop it. I had the KO.
Because of his insane durability that I bet on this. That's the reason I bet on this.
He went face plant to the canvas, and the ref didn't stop it. It was crazy. I mean, it's kind of simple to break down. Bellato has shit defense. He loves to get hit in the face. Stirling is a good striker, way more technical, and he has some pop. And Bellato has been hurt in a lot of fights in the UFC. He's been knocked out twice. The Bedoya fight, he should probably have been knocked out, honestly. The ref gave him all the time that he needed. And, Bellato's going to pressure, is going to be in your face. That's going to open him, to have a chance to win. Stirling is still green, so I guess Bellato could break him or finish him. But I do think Stirling has the tools to make it look easy, like you've mentioned. So I think he's going to find a kill shot here. That's a matchup for him to get a KO. Latu, the guys you mentioned, he's not really good, but he's durable. So that was a good, he hit him with like the right hand and check left hook. And he tried the same combo in his fight against Ivan Erslan. And he still hurt his Erslan with the right hand. So he's not going to have issues to find a shot on Bellato. He's going to be right there to be cracked. I don't really think Bellato is going to grapple. And if he does, I think Stirling has good takedown defense. So, yeah, I think that's a spot where Stirling get a highlight reel KO and, get some hype under his name.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see what these guys are thinking over here. Stirling, Bellato is not a good fighter. Stirling gets a KO here. I mean, yeah, look at it this way. Stirling had Erslan KO'd, as Job says. He had Tokos hurt damn near dead. I mean, he's had everyone hurt, and we've seen Bellato hurt in every single fight that he's been in. So I just don't see how a guy in Navajo Stirling doesn't hurt him and actually finish the job here. He is a black belt. That's why I said it could be a thing. But no, this is a setup spot for Stirling to get a KO. But I know a few sharp people who are quote unquote on Bellato. So, yeah. All right. Next fight we have is Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. This fight, you want to talk about a banger? This fight's going to be a banger. Charlie the Cannibal Campbell, 9-2 versus Tom Big Train Nolan, 9-1. Odds of these two gentlemen: Nolan's minus 148, Charlie Campbell's plus 130. Drav, I'm going to have you go first. I mean, tough fight to pick from. I mean, these guys, one guy's bigger than the other, but other than that, they both go forward. They both swing like crazy. Campbell's probably the better defensive grappler, but this is going to take place on the feet. What do you think happens here?
It's a banger. I like this fight.
By KO, probably.
Yeah, I think it's a banger. I'm not sure who's going to win. I lean Tom Nolan. I think Tom Nolan has been improving his game recently. I think he looked good against Borshev. He made him look kind of stupid at time, honestly. I just like Nolan build for the weight class, and he has more tools in that fight in particular. He uses his elbows and his knees better, and sometimes he looks super sharp with those kicks with his hands, and he clearly has power and he's fast, right? The problem with Tom Nolan is that he's chinny. He get hurt in almost every fight. Just been put down and put out before, so that's not something you want to see. He loves those submission. He has those long arms, and you want that submission. So maybe you get one day. I'm not sure that's going to be this fight. The way these guys fight, Campbell, he's a slick boxer, a really good uppercut. He's sometimes he's kill or be kill, and sometimes I don't like his reaction when he's getting hit himself. Against Trevor Peak, he looked good early on, but then in round 2 and 3, some sketchy moments, and you need to kind of grapple more. And the fact that Peak was taking him down at time was not a great look as well. I just think that sometimes he doesn't look great when pressure and when he get hit with some big shots. And they both have a suspect chin and bad defense, and they both hit hard. I think Campbell can catch him with especially an uppercut. And I think Tom Nolan can catch him with a lot of things. So I think Tom Nolan should be a favorite. He's the guy on the full camp fighting at home that's bigger, taller, longer, with more tools to win this fight. And Campbell, again, he's taking this on short notice. It was supposed to be Evan Elder. He's actually Evan Elder main training partner. So they were training together for that fight. And now he's stepping in for him on short notice after more than a year away. He's coming back. So, yeah, I do understand why people are taking a shot on Campbell. But personally, I think Tom Nolan's going to get him. And I think that he's probably going to be finishing him. But it's a good fight. I'm kind of hyped for this one.
What do you think, Key?
When did it take wanting to get to Campbell bet? But I think this cardio is kind of suspect, honestly. I think that whenever he gets pressured, shit starts to just unravel for him. Defensively, he got bailed out and was able to wrestle a good little bit against Trevor Peak. And I had him in that fight at a crazy number. And I thought that he should have looked more dominant. I know he won 30-27. But there was just a couple moments that were a little too close, in my opinion, versus a guy that I thought that he would thoroughly outclass. What
do you think of his chin?
What'd you say?
What do you think of Campbell's chin?
I mean, I don't think that his chin is bad. I think that his striking defense is kind of sus at times as he gets a little overzealous getting into pocket. That's what got him KO'd versus Chris Duncan. I don't think that he has a bad chin, though. I think that he just gets a little overzealous, becoming offensive, walking guys down. But as soon as he gets met with resistance, I mean, things start to get a little tricky for him. And Tom Nolan, I thought that he was shit. I thought that he was going to continue to get KO'd. The guy is not bad. He's, like Drav mentioned, he's getting better. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of like him. And you can tell that he's trying to become a smarter fighter and a more well-rounded guy. As you can tell, he's been wrestling more often. And he's trying to use his range. He still hasn't figured it out all the way. And he still has some issues with leaving that chin up and getting touched whenever he doesn't need to. But you can tell that he's at least trying to cover up some of those holes now in his game. So he's a guy that, in my opinion, is getting better each fight. I think that the Slava fight was a good look for him. And yeah, again, Alex Reyes, not getting Alex Reyes out of there is a bad look. And I'm not going to sit here and act like that was some great performance. But he's showing that he can go 15 and with solid cardio. I think that he has a cardio advantage. I think attritionally, he's going to do the better work. He could get chinned early, and Charlie's a good boxer offensively. He has real power in his hands. So he is very live to knock out Nolan within the first 7.5 minutes or so. But making that trip to Australia, crowd's going to be behind Nolan. I think that Nolan's, a lot of his success is backloaded on round 2, round 3. So I would look round 2, round 3 props. One, I not loving all of the prices that have come out so far. And I was targeting a little bit better. But I think round 2, round 3, or live bet. A live bet on Tom Nolan is interesting. So I think that that's the way you look at this. But paying -148 or -150 on Tom Nolan in my opinion, is just not needed. I think the Campbell success is a lot front loaded.
Yeah, I tend to side with Tom Nolan here. He's going to be a much bigger fighter. Striking seems to be comparable on both sides. When it comes to chins, I trust. It's going to sound weird. I think I trust Nolan's chin more than I trust Campbell's. When it comes to recklessness and getting in the pocket, stuff like that, I trust Nolan more than I trust Campbell there as well too. So it seems like a fight where these guys are gonna. This has got violence written all over it. Who am I going to trust in the pocket more? It's probably going to be Tom Nolan. Plus, it's on the home stage. It should be fun. It's also short notice for Campbell, right? And not for Nolan. So, because it was supposed to be against Evan Elder originally, right? So, I think that having a full camp versus getting flown overseas from because he's from Long Island, Campbell, all the way over to there, 24 hours, if not more. Like, I don't know. Seems pretty shitty for him. It's got to be probably Nolan for me. Especially at -145, I guess. I haven't bet it yet, but I'm probably going to be on that side. All right. Do some comments real quick. There'll be finishes. Some of that's how it goes. Yeah, it would be kind of crazy. This will be one of those fights that I don't see going the distance, but it goes the distance. It's funny you say that. If I had people, that's the thing. It goes to judges. Odds are it's probably going to be the Australian guy winning. It's going to be like China or those other cards, France, whatever you want to call it. Nolan go over. Under 2.5 rounds, -140. Campbell is going to come out pressuring, and one of them is going to get KO'd. Unders are fine. Like I said, I think this fight ends inside the distance. I don't think is -140 the actual line for under 2.5. Job, you're muted.
No, it's 1.5, but you can still play that on commercial.
Gotcha. Now we're back into Bellato comments. Charlie Campbell is helping Evan Elder to prep against Nolan. So he's studying a lot already. You see a lot on the finish. He's asking Glenn about that. Glenn, you can answer that question. All right. Next fight. This is a disgusting fight. This is a slob fest. And I'm not betting it for once. A heavyweight slop fest, Justin Tafa versus Louis Sutherland. Sutherland's 10-3, Justin Tafa's 7-5. Odds on these two gentlemen. You can get Tafa -115, Louis Sutherland -105. Key, how do you want to invest on this heavyweight slop fest? How can I interest you to do that?
You'd have to waterboard me or some shit. I side with Tafa here, I'll be honest. I went into tape thinking, I'm easily going to click Sutherland. And at the time, Sutherland was like +120, I believe. And I think that line was probably somewhat correct. Sutherland is like, he's kind of slow, kind of clunky. His wrestling is like serviceable, but it's not like he's a wrestler. Like he's not going to go out here and just wrestle guys to death. Tafa is white belt, the ultimate white belt, but Tafa does have strong hips. So it's not like he's easy to take down. But if you can get him off balance, so you'll eventually get him down. It's just, can Sutherland do that? I'm not exactly sure. And I don't think the Sutherland's like bad. It's not like he's super chinny or some shit at heavyweight. So like there are some things to like, but he's kind of slower, clunky, and he doesn't have the power to exchange with Tafa. And was one of the bigger issues. Was it'd be okay if he wasn't the greatest wrestler, but still had the power to match a little bit of Tafa in the pocket. but he just doesn't. Like he is kind of arm punches, and it's weird because he's a big muscly dude and all this shit. The Vanilla Gorilla is a fitting nickname, but the guy just doesn't hit hard. And so I think the attritional work, like the leg kicks, he does throw leg kicks. He has decent process. It's just he doesn't have the traits that I want to see to beat Tafa. I think the Tafa gets it done. I'm not going to lie. Sutherland's kind of a confusing signing to just sign him off rip and not put him through Dana White Contender Series. So I'm kind of confused on that too. This kind of feels like we want to keep the Tafa brothers around type of deal, and you give him somebody that's not very good and making a debut. So it's interesting. I'm not playing Justin Tafa, period. I probably wouldn't play Justin Tafa against Peg, but I can't say that it's easy to get down on the Sutherland bet here. So I'll say this is just a complete pass fight on my end. I lean Tafa to win, but that's due to the fact that Sutherland doesn't hit that hard, and I'm not sure if he can actually wrestle.
Yeah, I'm on Tafa here too, just because. I mean, so I'd be honest, I didn't really tape it too far into it. I kind of did just a little bit of wiki capping garbage. Isn't Sutherland the guy from Bellator, right? Am I wrong? I'm thinking of the right guy. Didn't he fight in Bellator?
He fought in Bellator, I believe, like once or twice. He fought in PFL, I think, too.
Yeah, PFL, Bellator, okay, 0-1 Bellator. Yeah, Tafa's knocking him out. All right, Jav, what do you think? It's pretty easy enough. It's very
good process.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Good process. Yeah. I mean, it's then never the Tafa brothers for me, bro. I've gave those dudes a chance sometimes, and they look awful. I don't think they're good. I mean, they're a good strike. They're decent striker with power, right? The Tafa brothers, but they're poor grappler. And if you look at Justin Tafa resume. Name me one guy that can grapple that he fought. There's only one, and he lost clearly that fight, right? It was Carl Williams. Carl Williams has no finishing upside himself, and you almost finish him, right? I mean, Sutherland is not really good, like Keith mentioned, but he has some attributes that I think you need to beat Tafa. First of all, he's durable. Second off, he's big and he's strong. And I think that he can win some minutes in the clinch, and he can potentially take him down. I don't think his wrestling is all that good, but I think Tafa ground game is awful. And Sutherland, to his credit, he has some nice and vicious elbows if he can get on top, right? And in the clinch, I think his knees and his elbows are nice. At distance, he has some decent leg kicks. And again, I don't think the guy is really good or anything like that. But if he's durable enough, if he has decent cardio, can wrestle, can have some success on the feet. Tafa lost to fucking Jared Van Der, right? He lost to a lot of guys. He got beat up in the clinch by Teixeira, got knocked out early. I think Sutherland is stronger. I think he's bigger. He can maybe wrestle, and he's durable. Tafa has been hurt multiple times in the UFC, by the way. So yeah, I think Sutherland. I think it should be a really close fight, on the line. It's very volatile, but I think it's dog or pass.
Yeah, I mean, this is also a step down in competition for Tafa. If he doesn't finish this guy, who is he going to finish at this rate in the UFC? I don't know. That's how it feels to me, at least. Let's see where we got here. Where are we? The comments here. Tafa's a white belt. He's sweatpants. That's funny. Yeah, complete pass. Tafa is fine enough to keep this fight standing, but disgusting fight. Yeah, I got no interest in really betting it. But it ends by KO. I don't know. Anyone know the odds on fight with KO? I definitely heel hook Tafa. No problem. Next level analysis from Peg there. Appreciate it. That's why they have me here. Don't get me wrong, guys. You've watched me. If you've been watching the show, you know I love a heavyweight slop fest. I usually have a bet on every single one. If I don't have a bet on one, odds are it's probably not a good one to bet on. So that's why I'm staying away from it. I had no interest even looking into it, to be honest, further than what you guys just watched me do. All right. Next fight, Jake Mathews versus Neil Magny. This one should be quick. Jake Mathews, 22-7. Neil Magny, 30-13. Odds on these two gentlemen. Jake Mathews, biggest favorite on the card, -410. Magny +310. Jake Mathews wins inside the distance. All right. Any questions? Anyone disagree? Does anyone think it goes to decision and it's Jake Matthews by decision?
I'm not sure he finished him, honestly. I'm not too confident in
So
that.
how does he cover this price tag without a finish? Let me ask you that. Now you can do your breakdown.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to cover his price tag. I mean, if you like him, I think you better play some finish prop probably because it's probably how he covers his price. There's some angle like Jake Mathews by KO, Jake Mathews round 3/decision. I think it's probably a good way to play him because, Magny, he had some wins recently, but I don't think he looked very good. Doesn't take damage really well. He can check calf kicks, and Mathews has been looking great, honestly. I've bet him against Shitty, make it look easy. He seems to be coming on to his prime right now, so I think he should be a decent size favorite, but probably not -4 something. But yeah, I think that he's probably gonna win this fight. I didn't even tape that one. I have no interest, honestly, in that fight. I'm just gonna pass it.
Yeah, I'm not getting involved either. Key, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I wanted to get to Jake Mathews ITD, but I don't know what Jake Mathews is going to show up and do. The leg kicks are free, as is always against Neil Magny. If he's smart, he gets on the leg kick early and then starts throwing heavy stuff to get Neil out of there. But is Jake going to just walk forward and end up in the clinch with Neil Magny? Like, I'm not sure. So Jake, it feels at times can just be a little flat or disappointing. I'm unsure how to feel about this. I was thinking about parlay, but that's nasty work. So for me, it's a pass right now. And Neil's coming off of a win. Confidence is up. He's talked about having a little extra motivation because Jake's been calling him out for a few years now. So interesting to see how this fight ends up. But if Neil ends up in the clinch and stuff and ends up buying himself some more time, I'll be ready to fucking punt my TV off the balcony. So I'll pass on this fight.
All right, guys. I'm glad you guys tuned in to watch us pass on -400 fight. Finesse, what's happening, brother? We got to get you on sometime. Congrats on the baby, by the way. I know you just had a baby like a week ago or something.
Yeah, congrats, bro.
Jake's up for the people. Fight goes the distance. Good fight. I think Matthews wins, but these odds are insane. Complete dog or pass. Spread of the week on Neil Magny. Run it back one more time. What's Matthews' finish only price?
It can't be any good. There's no way.
Hey, you parlayed Umar Sai -600. This is perfect for you. It actually is. But
it's -350.
-315?
350. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. All right. Next fight. Jack Jenkins versus Raymond Taveras. Raymond Taveras is 10-3. Jack Jenkins 13-4. Well, so these two gentlemen, you get Jack Jenkins -280, Raymond Taveras +240. I mean, who do you guys like? I don't think we've seen Taveras since he fought Davey Grant and cost Peg a bag last December in Tampa. Yeah, appreciate that, Finesse. Drop a like, drop a sub. Everything's below. Join the Discord. Come chat with us. Drav, go first here. I mean, the leg kicks are going to be free all day against Taveras with Jack Jenkins. He might just kick his legs off. Am I wrong?
Honestly, it's another fight I have not taped yet, so I don't have a strong opinion.
Well,
but
show's on Wednesday. What are you guys doing? You got tape done.
I mean, bro, I've taped almost.
I was watching Chavez fight random moms in strip malls in fucking Brazil. So that's what I was spending my time doing.
Yeah, all right. Well, Peg took care of you guys because she's the best.
I mean,
take this fight.
The thing I'll say is Taveras is moving up a weight class. What do you think about that? What do you guys think about that?
Never a good look when there's a guy who could easily make the weight class below it. I think
my opinion on that. What do you think about Taveras moving up a weight class here? Do you think it's a good
look for him?
He's also from Duval, which tells me he got lazy and doesn't want to be serious about his fight career anymore after coming off a loss to Davey Grant. Jack Jenkins, setup spot here. Taveras is a boxer. Boxers are always heavy on their front foot and everything like that. We're watching the leg kicks be there all damn day. I mean, he's going to kick the legs out on this guy, Taveras. Taveras isn't going to be able to get his boxing to get his power going. Jack Jenkins wins probably 29-28, maybe 30-27. But, yeah, I think Jack Jenkins probably rolls here. Anyone care to disagree based off my assessment?
Not really. On to the next one.
Thanks. About Peg being critical about not watching tapes.
Yeah, it's the funniest shit ever, right? It's the funniest
yeah,
shit
yeah.
ever.
Peg had 2 weeks to catch up, so I got the whole card in. Champ agrees with me. He agrees.
Yeah, Taveras can crack. I'll give him that. He has good boxing. He can crack.
Yeah. That's it. Well, that's what it is his boxing. That's what he came into the UFC touting, and look how that turned out. It didn't really work out great because Davey Grant leg kicked the shit out of him. Jack Jenkins is a better leg kicker than Davey Grant.
Davey Grant's a much better striker, though.
Jimmy Crute, Ivan Erslan. Ivan Erslan, 14-5. Jimmy Crute, 13-4-2. A new man of God. Jimmy Crute, -185. Ivan Erslan, +160. Drav, I'm going to have you go first. I mean, Ivan's going to knock out Jimmy Crute, right? Or is Jimmy Crute going to find the sub on Ivan? How do you think the fight goes?
It's a very volatile fight.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's a very volatile fight. I think that Erslan record on paper is not really, it looked worse than what it is. If you watch the fight, he had a really close fight against Ion Kutulaba, looked good late in round 3, won the wrestling, defended a couple takedowns. It was close on the feet against Ion. It was a split decision, right? And in his last fight against Stirling, he looked good, honestly, in round 1 and 2. The fight was really close. And then in round 3, he got hurt bad. The thing with Erslan that is weird and volatile is the fact that he has big power and he has good boxing and he can hurt a lot of guys. But also his chin is weird. He's tough, but he can be hurt himself. So that's the tricky thing. His takedown defense is solid, but his ground game is not good. So my problem here is that Crute can probably take him down early. And if he does, there's a chance that he submit him. And on the feet, I think Crute could potentially crack him. My problem I have with Crute is that he's a round 1 finisher. And after the first round, his wrestling is not as good. His finishing upside is not as good. And he get worse in the defense. He doesn't check leg kicks, which is not going to be a problem here because Erslan doesn't throw them. But Crute can be hurt. He has a really bad defense, and Erslan hit very hard. And I think Crute looked bad against Pacino, honestly. It was a really easy matchup for him because Pacino can't defend takedowns, has no get-up game and no jiu-jitsu and not much power. And, I mean, Crute needed a couple takedowns because Pacino was getting back up, and he didn't look good on the feet at all. So, I don't know, man. If Pacino can get back up, I think Erslan can get back up as well. And in the striking, I think in round 2 and 3, I know Erslan is a round 1 guy himself, but in round 2 and 3, he does more than Crute, and I trust him more as the fight goes on in round 2 and 3 with his power, with his boxing, with his cardio, with his tenacity. And Crute has just not looked great recently. I mean, maybe he's back now, but I don't really buy it, honestly. Easy matchup last time out. Here he's back against a dangerous boxer with power that can probably defend some takedowns and look better as the fight goes on. Crute never looked good in round 2 and 3. He's more of a round one guy. And if they go to distance, it's going to be close. And I think they can both knock out the other in round 1. I just think Erslan in round 2 and 3, I can count on him more to have big moments and potentially finish the fight later. So, yeah, I think Erslan's going to win this fight. I'm going to pick him to win. But, yeah, I'm not going to be too confident about it. It's a volatile fight. Crute maybe make it look easy with the grappling. It's kind of hard to it's hard to predict, but I think Erslan should be the one winning this fight by either by knockout or maybe like a crazy close decision that he get it, which might be hard because it's he's fighting in Crute backyard, so don't really know how it's gonna pay off. But I mean, fading Crute at big plus money against a dangerous boxer seems like a good plan to me. What do you think, Q?
Yeah, Erslan is weird. I bet him versus Kusalaba was underwhelmed by the performance. Navo Stirling, it is what it is. Jimmy Crute isn't that guy. Jimmy Crute here can get takedowns. It's just, does Jimmy fall apart after one round? At this stage in his career, it seems like that almost might be a given, but I'm not sure. I mean, his guys went around the world, retired, found God again, and then is now into this whole new idea of this being his true path and career. So I'm not sure. The Marcin fight definitely had to be a boost. That's his first win since 2020. So I imagine that's a great boost for him. I know he's been getting in work with, I believe, Jake Mathews too, and Kit Campbell, another guy who's been on road to UFC. So he's getting decent looks. I do think the Crute, skill for skill, Crute is the better fighter, in my opinion. But Crute mentally, like, does he just fall apart? Like, what happens? Like, I don't know. So for that reason alone, I can't back Crute at minus 175 or minus 200s in those numbers that some people were parlaying at, which I found kind of crazy. But Erslan is weird because he's playing to the crowd. I mean, he literally damn near died against Stirling, gets up and like pumps his arms to the crowd as if like he's truly hyping them. Like, you just damn near got knocked out. And he's like pumping up the crowd and then proceeds to damn near die again right after that. So he's a confusing guy. And the KSW in general is a funny ass organization. But he's been hurt before, and I don't think that his chin is bad. But his chin is definitely a little like, it's not like he's the most durable guy. But I think that he could potentially wear on Crute in rounds 2, rounds 3. He has solid first layer takedown defense. It's not going to be easy for Crute to just wrestle him, especially as many injuries as Crute has had in his career now. So his dog or pass here pretty clear. I'm passing on the fight though.
All right. Yeah, I'm on Erslan here. I think he's going to knock out Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute's got one round to get him out of there. After that, it gets ugly. Boxing-wise, Erslan's a much better boxer. He's got power. Jimmy Crute's a guy who was broken, beaten, retired, comes back, goes to a draw, like total fucking train wreck. Chin's like okay. I mean, I think he's a good striker early. I think he's going to have to get the wrestling going and the grappling going to be successful here. If not, Erslan's going to box his face off at plus 160. I'll take the chance on Ivan Erslan and watch Jimmy Crute crumble on the big stage in front of his home crowd because he's not, built for this shit. That's why he retired at 29 years old in his prime and couldn't get wins. So, yeah. Sorry, that was a little mean, but it is what it is. Crute passing, grapple Erslan, but not as bad. No, Erslan's not as bad as people make him out to be. Crute sub. Draw. I mean, draw is always good in a Jimmy Crute fight, evidently. Do we bet the draw? 1, 2, 2. It's crazy. Big Steve, what's happening, brother? This is our Super Bowl. I actually missed the other Super Bowl. Sutherland versus Tafa. That was the real Super Bowl, this card. Shades of Robert Pericic. I mean, Pericic looked pretty damn good last fight, right? All right, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. Come chat with us. Get free bets. Everything. It's a great time. Like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. Once we do that, I'll be doing a giveaway. All right. Carlos Ulberg versus Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes, 15-4. Carlos Ulberg, 12-1. Odds of these two gentlemen: Ulberg's minus 250. Dominic Reyes plus 210. I mean, Key, I'm going to have you go first just because your obsession with Ulberg is a little sus. Also because of how handsome he is. Makes me think like something's weird between you two. But you could tell us why your handsome prince is going to win this fight against Dominic Reyes.
You're the one acknowledging the fact that he's handsome. I didn't say a word.
I mean, dude, no one could look at that picture of that guy and be like, yeah, you know what? He's actually pretty ugly, and he's a cage fighter.
Wow.
Kind of looks like Rock, honestly.
Do you have something to tell us? Do you have something?
Hey, this is getting unreal.
I got nothing to tell you. Go ahead. Break it down.
But I think I played Ulberg at minus 165 here. It was up available at minus 165, minus 175 in a bunch of different places at the time. I think that he's a clear side here. Dominic Reyes, great, very cool story to die and use 2 of your 9 lives against fucking against Yuri and Ryan Spann. And I don't think that the Jan knockout was that bad. Like, it wasn't super bad. He didn't go out cold or anything. He was kind of arguing the stoppage, but he did get hit. He did get touched, and it was a knockout. But the Yuri and Spann knockouts were just disgusting. And if there's one thing that we've learned in this sport is that chins don't just magically get better as you age. Like, that's just not how this works. You don't just take a little bit of time off and then your chin is magically and you're in its prime again. I think that he just has not been touched yet by anybody real since the Spann fight. Dustin Jacoby was pressuring really well, and Dustin Jacoby is typically a guy that takes his time and uses angles and creates a lot of different looks. But he just rushed it. I guess he thought that he had Reyes hurting. He was walking him down pretty well, but he rushed it and got clipped with a left hand, I believe, and then ended up doing the chicken dance, and then Reyes finished him off from there. The Anthony Smith fight, I'm not going to lie, respect to Anthony Smith and all that for going out after his best friend and coach died a little right before that fight or so, respect. But if you put literally anybody in that cage with him, he was going to lose that night against any 205er on the roster. He just was not – he wasn't fighting, bro. And I won't say typical Anthony Smith fashion, but in Anthony Smith fashion, he curls up into a ball and just gets pounded out for like 3-4 minutes to finish the fight. So that was an interesting look. But the times where Anthony Smith was in the pocket, like he actually clipped and touched Reyes a couple times. Versus Krylov, again, Krylov literally just face first, as Krylov is done also right after with Guskov too. Krylov just runs face first into a punch. What does that tell me? Like, that doesn't tell me that this guy is like, oh, he's made all these changes, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't. He still backs up in straight lines. Chin is still up sometimes as soon as he starts exchanging. He's still showing all of the same habits that were getting him knocked out. He's just not throwing as much early on and trying to come out somewhat defensive. He's caught these guys just running in. And that is what it is. I mean, good shit. You're an athletic light heavyweight that still possesses the offensive skills, but defensively, you're still the same guy. And Ulberg here, I think that's important to note, Reyes being a southpaw, because Ulberg, that opens up that rear leg for Ulberg and his right leg, and he uses it like a whip whenever he is in that open stance. And it's really beautiful to see him change the levels, because we know that he has a good calf kick, outside calf kick whenever he's facing orthodox. But against southpaw, he whips it to the body, he whips it up top too. And I think that he's a really educated striker. I backed him early on in his UFC career against Nikolai Negumereanu too, who hasn't fought since, and I would like to know where that guy went, because he was actually kind of fun. But Ulberg, that left hand constantly pawing in and out, constantly pawing at people. That check hook is, I mean, outside of Poatan, it doesn't get much better than that in the whole sport of MMA, I'll be honest. He's constantly pawing and can easily just whip it around and end up leaning into a hook. And I see that being a shot that could put out Reyes. If Reyes does decide to come in, and if Reyes decides to play it safe and wants to be Mr. Defensive, Ulberg, in my opinion, has the much better jab, is the more educated striker, and is great at managing range. I mean, he's great at managing range. So I think that Ulberg can win a slow kickboxing fight here, and I think that if Reyes wants to get reckless and make this ugly, I think that Ulberg is the sniper here. I don't really see pass outside of Reyes just catching him with something random, which is possible. But outside of Reyes catching him with something random, I'm not sure how Reyes wins this fight, honestly. I think that Ulberg this is a tee-up spot. And it's important to note, you won't get this from any other podcast. It's important to note, back in 2024, when Reyes was coming back after the 3 straight knockout losses, who did they try to give him to 2 times in a row? Ulberg, on the UFC 297 card, I believe, and the Atlantic City card with Manon and Blanchfield. They tried to feed Reyes to Ulberg. So this is obviously a matchup that the UFC thinks that Ulberg can win and look good in doing. And now they get him and set him up to win in front of Australia. I think that there's a tee-up spot on homeland. I see a knockout. It's rounds 2 or 3. I think the Reyes isn't going to come out and just get to banging. I think it'll be round 2, round 3. Reyes might get a little impatient, right? Check left hook puts him away. And I think the Reyes chin is not very good, and we know that. And I think that'll show up here. So I think that Ulberg gets it done. I think that Ulberg stamps himself to be the next up to get a title shot, honestly.
Yeah, I was kind of looking into this fight too, and with the way it's really looked, I leaned after watching tapes. I leaned Ulberg here. I mean, I'm a Dominic Reyes guy. I kind of like what he's been put together lately. It's been pretty cool to watch him kind of have a resurgence. But it's just the classic. You win 3 fights, you build up his name. He's back to being new Reyes, and now you sail him off to Australia and get him murdered by a handsome prince in Carlos Ulberg. My thing is, I was trying to get to a under bet, and the under was set at 2.5, right? And I was trying to get to that because of A, right, Reyes' chin, and B, Ulberg being in a main event, right? But as someone said in the comment too, I'm trying to find where he said it. Ulberg kind of plays with his food. Would you tend to agree, Keith?
Yeah, I wouldn't say play with his food. It's just if you don't make him fight, he's completely fine with just jabbing and leg kicking you to death for 15, 25 minutes. I mean, I thought that the Jan and the Oezdemir fight were not bad looks. I thought that they were very mature performances because this is a guy that people have to remember his UFC debut. He shot every bullet he had in the clip and then got finished by Kennedy. And since then, we've seen him level up one. But I think that those last 2 performances going the distance were great for his development and shows a lot of maturity.
So instead of playing the under, like I was looking at, I was kind of looking at the alternative, which is inside the distance for Carlos Ulberg. That was kind of going to be the way I was going to play it, but I can't remember what odds I saw on that. I think it was minus 140. What do you think of that bet? Ulberg to win inside the distance minus 140.
I think it's fun if you think that Reyes is going to enter a pocket. I'm not sure. Reyes could just completely just stand at range and this end up being a slow kickboxing match. So that's why I felt comfortable very easily hopping on money line at those prices. I'm not sure about ITD because I can see a world where Ulberg does get comfortable. And in rounds 4 and 5, I expect for him to just be managing clock rather than actually managing to find a knockout. I'll be honest.
This kind of makes sense, like what Champ's saying here, where like he doesn't chase finishes, it's a kickboxing thing, but like Reyes is going to get like once Reyes is losing, he's going to go for it. He's going to get caught. He's going to get hurt. He's going to get put out. That's kind of how I predict it going. I just don't know. The price is like minus 140 for him inside the distance doesn't seem like tremendous. I'm sure KO is probably minus 120, maybe minus 130. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. Drav, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm not as passionate as you guys are. It's kind of a tricky fight for me personally, just because of the 5 rounds, and because I do think Ulberg, if he doesn't get a knockout, it's probably gonna be close, honestly. But he's a really good fighter, and he's on a massive win streak. And I also don't buy this narrative of Reyes being back and all that shit, right? I don't really buy that. But Reyes is a solid fighter if you don't put him out. So I tend to prefer Ulberg KO rather than moneyline at the price. I'm just trying to see what is the KO, because if he doesn't knock him out, bro, like I don't think he covered minus 250 in a 5-round decision. In a 3-round decision, I think maybe, but I have some concerns about his cardio in round 4 and 5 personally. Let me just see on River what is the KO prop. Is that out on FanDuel, Peg?
What did you say it was?
For the KO prop on Ulberg?
Let me take a look for you right now. I was looking at Bet Online.
It's minus 122 on Bet Rivers. Is it like minus 110 on FanDuel?
I'm telling you right now. Just got to get that in. I mean, I thought it would be minus 130 is where I would have capped it at. It is minus 125 on.
Yeah, I'm checking DraftKings. Because like at minus 110-ish, I think it's decent. I have it right there. Yeah, minus 145 on DraftKings. Yeah, I mean, no interest for me in this fight. I think Ulberg's going to win. The career trajectory between the two, even though Reyes is on a 3-5 win streak, is on the side of Ulberg here. He's the one at home. He's the one they're trying to push and all that shit. But his Micalleff cook and his leg kicks are pretty solid. It's just that I have some concerns about him for 5 rounds personally. So Yeah, but you throw good volume, so you should be fine. It's just I don't want to get involved at this price. So good luck on that one, boys.
All right, so that's pretty much the show. Reyes KO'd the last 3 guys. How much more back can you be? Yeah, that is facts. That is facts. I think Ulberg needs to get a finish, get a title shot next. I tend to agree. We went over that one already. G Key now 2 with the KO 2-3. Better rethink this fight. Took Ulberg 3-4 or 4-5 decision. Got me thinking now. Glenn says Reyes has not gone over 2.5 since the John Jones fight 5 years ago, so I'm on the under. I think they'll like the under too, bro. It's a good bet. Under is hard to predict. Ulberg sometimes points fights. Reyes kill or be killed. Doesn't like to run like an idiot, so he should be okay. Peg clearing his history. I'm sure they're talking about like the handsome serial foot stare Peg. We didn't do any of that. We'll bring it back next week, I promise. Sorry to let you guys down. The internet is a safe space, Peg. It's okay. All right. Elo's Ulberg as well. All right. So that's pretty much everything. Thanks, gentlemen in chat. Thanks for joining us. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do you want to give these guys a cycle parlay? We just want to get out of here. It's kind of late.
No, we out.
I would have given you guys a cycle parlay, but they don't want to. All right. Enjoy, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Key and Drav. Links will be below for their paid picks and whatever. Join our Discord. Sometimes they get free picks in there. Sometimes they give them on Twitter. It's easy to trick them. You join our Discord and you trick them into giving you the picks if you have a conversation with them. Join up. And don't worry, I give my picks for free in there too. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Depending on how this weekend goes, if the red streak continues for Peg, we'll start making bets on the show on things I'll have to do until it goes green. So that's what we'll do. It'll be fun and entertaining. I'm your host, Picks with Pegasus. We'll catch you guys Sunday or Monday for Dana White Contender Series, I guess. I mean, I'll just host it for you two. You guys can talk, but I'm not watching shit on that anymore. I'm done. So that's it. That's it for me. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace out.
Oh, almost left the studio.